Hi everyone. So I'm recording this on Sunday, the 9th, and got all my stuff situated, get the camera set up and everything, and then I realized that Kelly's teaching a class and my mat is in there. So I think I'll be fine. You don't need to worry about me, but I'm just saying that a mat would be nice, but I don't know how much you're going to need a mat anyway. So what we're going to, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. So for any of you who have actually been coming to in-class classes, I've been kind of jumping on the pranayama bandwagon a little bit more. Pranayama being breathing exercises. And so I would like to do a sequence of breathing exercises with you today that there will be some body movement. So this isn't just going to be sitting down. So what I would like for you to do is, for the seated part of this though, do come into a comfortable seated position. So whether it's cross-legged or whether you're like sitting on a bolster or something, since we're practicing the breath, and for any of you also who are familiar with my teaching, I really feel, and I don't know that this is anywhere in any of the yogic texts, but I truly feel that if you're not breathing, and I mean mindful breathing, then I don't feel like it's yoga, because you breathe naturally anyway. It's an involuntary thing. Your brain is not going to let you suffocate by forgetting to breathe. And so mindful breathing, whatever the style of breath it is, whatever the type of pranayama it is, everything is coming from the breath. The movement always follows the breath in yoga. And you know what? That's true for pretty much anything, I think. So I'm thinking about like running, for example. My running buddies will know this. Some of you are watching. If you're out of breath, you would slow down. You're not going to continue running fast if your breath is all out of whack. It's not going to work. So your breath, the quality of your breath, the strength of your breath, how much oxygen you're getting, that drives everything else. So if you're just mindlessly breathing and like just sitting here, with your hands on your knees and all that, I don't consider that yoga. We could debate that all you like, but for, my house, my rules, I guess, right? But so come into a comfortable seated position, and we're going to practice a sequence of breathing exercises that are going to take you from low to high and back down again, and literally from seated to standing and back down again. So make sure that you've got space. We're going to be doing big arm things as well, and we'll get started. So easy seat, kneeling or cross-legged. You're looking for having space in your torso. So as my Thai yoga massage teacher says, bring your chest away from your belly. I really like that cue, as opposed to sitting up straight. Because that kind of means different things to different people, but literally bring your chest away from your belly, because you want this space that's here, because we're going to use this space. Create space and use it. I say that a lot. So allow yourself to just sort of settle. We'll start this practice by first noticing just your body here. Notice the physical stuff before you go deeper. Notice the obvious stuff before we go deeper. So feel the weight of your body sitting on whatever it's sitting on. Bolster, blanket, the floor, whatever. Notice any sensations you feel in your body, anything that's speaking louder than the others. But also notice those sensations that are speaking quieter. Both exist at the same time. Maybe notice if you feel a different level of energy in different parts of your body. So for me right now, I don't know why, but I feel my pulse in my palms quite a bit. And then bring your awareness, bring your focus to your breath. There's nothing to change with your breath. You're not adjusting it. You're not doing any sort of technique. You're just noticing that you are breathing at first. And as we know from a lot of different studies, in anthropology, in quantum physics, all sorts of things change simply by being observed. So by observing your breath, you're instantly changing it, whether you intend to or not. You might have had a mindless, shallow little breath just prior to, and now that you're looking at it, you're probably filling your lungs a little bit more. And I'm also saying that, so now you're probably going to as well. And that's fine. You're tuning into your breath. And by tuning into your breath, then your brain kicks in and says, oh, perhaps we could do this breath a little bit differently that actually benefits you a little bit more instead of just barely keeps you alive. Right? And then do allow your breath to deepen a little bit, only in that you're looking to fill your belly, expand your lungs, and feel your breath spread to all parts of your lungs. So notice if you are a chest breather versus a belly breather. We're looking for belly breathing, but frequently people take really shallow breaths. Just sort of like, this isn't true, but just sort of like breathing from the top of your lungs. And then that's it. It's just like sipping from the top. Instead of like getting all the way down to the bottom of the milkshake where like the strawberries are at the bottom. And as you start to take fuller breaths, notice how your sensations in your body change. And even take a look at your thoughts and what your mind is doing. Perhaps you're thinking like, this is really dumb, I'm not doing anything. Or maybe you're like, this is fascinating, I've never focused on my breath enough. Anything that comes up, that's legit, let it be. Then let's move into Ujjayi breath. Allowing your mouth to stay relaxed, your jaw is relaxed, the bottom of your tongue rests at the bottom of your mouth, or how about just your tongue rests at the bottom of your mouth. Your lips stay closed, just touching. And on your inhales, whisper the word ah, and feel the air move from your nose down your throat. And on your exhale, whisper the word O with your lips closed, feeling the breath come up through your throat, and maybe it moves around in your mouth a little bit before going out through your nose. Ah, whispered on the inhales, and O whispered on the exhales. You will hear your breath if you're whispering it. And if you're not quite sure if you have it, then have your mouth open and just practice whispering. Practice whispering. And then once you sort of feel the contraction, the constriction of your glottis muscle, your vocal cords, then that's where closing your lips. This allows you to truly breathe through your nose, but through your throat, and using the inside of your mouth at the same time. So it's part of what we're trying to accomplish. But inhaling saying ah, exhaling saying oh, this constriction of the glottis muscle, this slows down the breath. So do try to inhale completely, filling your lungs, and exhale completely, emptying your lungs. You can feel that you are forced to slow down your breath because of the constriction in your glottis muscle. And that slow breath helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That helps you to relax. And the interesting thing about Ujjayi breath, it means victorious breath. And we frequently use this style of pranayama during asana, movement, and poses. But it's also very effective simply just sitting here and using it as basically a meditation. So you can use this breath when you move, you can use this breath when you sit. And maybe the intention that you have going into your practice changes the quality of the breath, changes how it feels in your body, all sorts of things. But Ujjayi is a very foundational form of breathing in yoga. And I'm going to challenge you to continue focusing on your Ujjayi breath for another minute. Notice anything that's challenging you, either the breath itself or your mind, maybe your body. Part of this practice is I want you to recognize that practicing pranayama can have its own challenges, similar to practicing asana, where you start where you start and you notice what happens. Sometimes it can be hard. That's why we practice. Release your Ujjayi breath now. Just come back to normal breathing through your nose. We're going to move into 3-part breath. And we frequently do 3-part breath, but I'd like to practice this with mudra, or hand positions. So when you inhale, so we're going to go slowly first through this. On your inhale, the first part of your breath, so you're going to sort of breathe in 3 sections. Your hands are at your waist, your palms are flat and parallel to the floor, thumbs behind you. Then you bring your thumbs to your armpits. Again, your palms are flat and rigid, elbows are shoulder height. You're opening up. This gives you the expansion in your rib cage. Then your hands will move to the tops of your shoulders. Elbows are lifted, feeling length all the way up here. This gives you the sensation of lifting your torso. Then we'll end with reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. Fingertips are spread, thumbs pointing behind you. And on your exhale, fingers stay spread, arms reach out to the side and down. And notice what you feel in your arms and your energy. This is going to have an impact on your circulation, okay? So inhale, waist, armpits, shoulders, reach up. Your inhale may be done. On your exhale, arms come out to the side and down. So the movement of your arms follows your breath. So if your breath isn't quite as slow as I'm making it now, then everything speeds up a little bit until your body and mind and lungs get used to this form of breathing. Waist, thumb on the armpits, shoulders, reach up, lengthen, and arms come out to the side and down. Follow your own pace, follow your breath. And you'll notice, perhaps, that as you breathe, as you go through this, sometimes you can find a longer breath, and maybe you're really interested in how that happened. Sometimes you have a really long inhale and maybe even a much longer exhale. You don't need to count your breaths with this. You're just letting the breath guide the movements. Your arms lower at the rate of your exhale. Your palms move up your body at the rate of your inhale. And if you like Ujjayi, you can do this with Ujjayi, with your vocal cords constricted. with that whispering ah and oh. You can do that. Now, another thing that I want to throw in here is the practice of suspension and retention of breath. So when you come to your inhale and fill it all the way to the top, maybe pause and see how long you can stay with a complete inhale. That's the retention of your breath. And then when you're ready to let go, take another sip just to release the pressure, bring your arms down, and maybe you can practice the feeling of suspension of breath, no breath, emptiness. See how long that's comfortable for you. And then bring your inhale back. If you're comfortable with that, see if you can try it. You can also just practice with the retention at the top versus both retention and suspension. Notice what comes up for you. There are plenty of people that are not comfortable with it, but do remember, you are in complete control of your breath. Your body's not going to let you die doing this. I mean, it sounds dramatic me saying that, but that's what many people have said that they feel is like they're going to suffocate, they're going to die, but you're in control of that. And you're just practicing it, seeing what you can do, finding that line, finding the edge, and working right up to it. Not trying to freak yourself out, don't cause a panic attack. Let's just do wherever you're at, complete that round, and then do one more. Just so that you're proving to yourself that you're not rushing through to the end. And once you finish that final exhale, just rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Come to an effortless breath, breathing through your nose. And again, just notice. Notice what there is to notice. There may be a lot, there may not be much. It's coming up to standing. So we've been sitting for a little bit, so we're going to stand for this next round or two. This next one we're going to practice is Bhastrika. This is bellows breath. We're going to do it. We're going to do a few different styles of this. So the first round, when you count Bhastrika, you count fingers reaching out, arms reaching out, and then exhale, pulling your elbows in. That's 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. So that's how we count. So the first round, we're going to do 10, pulling it into your waist. Then you'll do 10, going out to the side and in. And when you pull it in, really bring the insides of your arms and your elbows to your rib cage, like you're trying to push it out with your elbows. The exhale. In between these, we're going to rest and just notice. So the third round, we're going to go like a V. And this one's going to be faster. So we're going to do double time with the V. And then rest. Notice. And then the fourth round, you'll be reaching up. And avoid bringing your shoulders into your ears. So try to keep the tops of your shoulders low. And you can go at whatever speed feels best for the last round. Okay? So we'll do it together. Start by just noticing your breath. We'll begin. We're pulling back at the waist. And rest. Notice all the breath goes through the nose. Try to release ujjayi for this. Try not to have a constriction in your throat. The next one will go out to the side. Elbows pull into your ribs when you're ready. And just notice, let your arms hang. Feel the weight of your body sink into your feet. So this next round is double time. Arms come out at a V when you're ready. Rest in between. last one, arms come overhead. Make sure your shoulders stay away from your ears. Whatever pace you like when you're ready. And rest, notice. I'm going to grab my water real quick. So this next round of breath, we're going to do a modified version, or I don't want to say modified, a different version of breath of joy. So we've done it before sitting down. I think we have. I can't remember. In class, for sure. In studio. So in this, so mountain breath, I don't know if I said breath of joy, but I meant mountain breath. So on your inhales, your arms come out to the side and the palms meet overhead, lengthening up. Your inhale may be done up here. On your exhale, arms come out to the side, start to bend your knees, bring the heels of your hands and press them into your hip creases, pressing into the tops of your femurs. On your next inhale, stand tall, palms face forward. And on your exhale, press the heels of your hands down towards the ground, flexing your wrists. Okay, let's do that together. Inhale. Palms meet. Your inhale may be done. Hold on to it. This is retention. Exhale. Arms out to the sides. Bend your knees. Press the heels of your hands into your hip creases. Shoulders drop away from your ears. Stand tall. Palms face forward. Inhale. Exhale. Press the heels of your hands down towards the floor. Everything presses down, even your feet. And again, follow your own breath. We'll do several rounds of this. Mountain breath is a grounding pose, but it also boosts your energy a little bit. So it's a little bit stimulating because you're bringing your arms overhead. That is usually a stimulating movement. But because you're pressing the heels of your hands into your hip creases and pressing down, that's where you get this sort of grounding feeling of pressing down into your legs. And then fingers reach down towards the floor. And then heels of the hands press down. I like to visualize myself like a wizard, like I've got light reaching out of my palms. Especially when I'm bringing it up, I've got this ball of light overhead. My palms are glowing. I know, if you know me, you're not surprised by this. On your exhale, arms come out to the sides, glowing palms, shooting light everywhere, pressing into my hip creases. Maybe light's going down my legs. Inhale, stand tall, light shooting out of my fingers, out through my palms. And then exhale, the heels of my hands press down, light shooting down. Let's do that a few more rounds. And determine what color, if you want to do this sort of light thing with me, determine what color the light is. Maybe it's not light, maybe it sparkles, for all you unicorn fans and whatnot. Make your practice as unique as you are. Add in things that make it fun, that you enjoy. This is why I add so much nerd stuff and Star Wars and all that stuff. Because my yoga practice is mine. And I want to enjoy it, and I want it to benefit me. So if there's something that it makes you feel like, if there's some part of this that you want to visualize, do it. Wherever you're at, finish that round and let's do one more. Take your time. There's no need to rush through. And after you finish your last exhale, pressing your heels down, allow yourself to just stand. Bring your focus, your awareness down to the soles of your feet. Have equal weight in the balls of your feet or the fronts of your feet and your heels. Stand nice and tall. And bring yourself back down to a comfortable seated position. We're going to practice Kumbhaka. On your inhales, fill your lungs all the way to the top. Hold. And exhale completely to the bottom. This next time when you inhale, notice how many beats it takes for you to inhale. Hold the breath. Notice, try to get the same amount of beats as how long it took for you to inhale. And then on your exhale, notice how many beats it takes for you to exhale, and it's probably longer than your inhale. And that's what we're going to work towards in this Kumbhaka, is whatever the numbers are, inhale comfortably, just notice how long it takes. Hold for about the same amount of time, maybe a little bit longer, whatever's comfortable. I really enjoy holding. And then the exhale, see how long you can draw that out. Slow it down. And then smoothly move into your inhales. We'll do that for a few minutes. And over the course of the next few minutes, that breath may change. Each inhale, hold, and exhale might grow longer. Maybe you want to play with it, taking it longer. Or maybe there are a couple rounds where it's slower than you thought it would be. Go what feels right. Your body is getting used to this pranayama. Your lungs are getting used to it. Each inhale, hold, and exhale creates a different kind of chemical response in your body, in that you're retaining oxygen, you're bringing it in, then you're retaining it, which puts a kind of pressure on your body as it holds it. And then on your exhale, you're releasing that oxygen, and as you lengthen out the release, that's leaving more, or you're releasing, the carbon dioxide as you go out. So that's changing the level of oxygen to carbon dioxide with a much longer exhale. And after you hold, if you need to, if you feel that it's sort of a weird transition from holding to exhaling, then do take a little bit of a sip before you sort of fall over into that exhale. Pranayama, just like asana, just like all things, takes practice. At first, it may not mean anything to you. It may feel weird. Maybe you feel like you're not doing it right. You're doing it fine. You're doing it just fine. You're doing it right. There's no wrong way, unless, of course, your mind wanders somewhere else. That's the only thing you're really trying to avoid. Traditionally, there is a specific ratio of inhale to exhale. Well, inhale, hold, and exhale. And I've traditionally done it where my inhale, let's say it's 5 or 7. My exhale is then either 10 or 14. So that's kind of where I've gotten myself to. And my hold may be around like 8 or 9. So it's a little bit longer. So the hold is somewhere in between. And there are different ratios that people recommend, and then you might hear from other teachers. And whatever actually is comfortable for you, especially if this is the first time practicing, go with that. But you are looking for almost a twice as long exhale. That is what you're looking for. We'll do this for about another minute. And after your next exhale, release this practice. And notice sensations. Notice what you feel. Notice what's going on in your mind. But also notice the things that aren't going on. The things that have settled. Or maybe some of this has made you more anxious. There's no one response to any of this for anybody. So then, seated in your cross-legged position, let's start to rotate your torso. So this practice that I'm giving you, this part you'll know from my other asana classes. But this practice is usually going to be best first thing in the morning. I wouldn't recommend this late in the evening or even right before bed, because this could be too stimulating for you and you may not sleep. The power of pranayama is for real. If you do stimulating breathing exercises before bed, it can keep you up. It can cause insomnia. All right, bring your other leg in front. Let's rotate in the opposite direction. So this is why, there are certain exercises, that you wouldn't do if you were trying to go to bed, or you wouldn't do, within a couple hours before going to bed. I would not go for a run right before, going to bed. However, there's some people that these things actually calm them down. So if you're pinging really high, if you ping higher than the average person, then these stimulating breath exercises, pranayama, they may actually bring you down. So you could play with that. Come back to center, grab onto your shins, rock over your sit bones. Inhale your belly button forward. Exhale, pull it into your spine. You're really working on that tilt of your pelvis. I know there are new people watching, so I'm going to try to reiterate all these things that I find really important about these initial movements. We'll do a few more of these. Getting some flexion in your spine. Bring your hands to your knees. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale it back. On your next inhale, lift your chin to the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, chin to chest. Once more, lift your chin. And chin to chest. We're going to move into Kapalabhati. So we're doing a lot of breathing exercise, a lot of pranayama this morning in this practice. Keep your chin against your chest. Keep the tops of your shoulders dropped. We'll go in rounds of 10. So remember, in Kapalabhati, your inhale does what it needs to do. Get a full inhale, but it's going to be quick. On your exhale, snap your belly button back to your spine as if somebody's pulling on a rope that's tied around your belly button. So it's going to look like this. So try to also make sure that you're not practicing ujjayi. That can be really stressful in your throat. So we're going to do 5 rounds of 10 Kapalabhati breaths each. Try to pause for a few breaths in the middle. You'll always start with an inhale and then go for it. So let's do a couple test inhales, practice inhales. Fill your lungs through your nose. Exhale out. Keep your shoulders down. Take a deep inhale. Let it out. Let's do a 3/4 inhale. And begin. And release. So you may have a few rounds of this, just a practice round, figuring it out. Try to keep your chin against your chest. When you're ready, take an inhale and begin. And release. Notice if you had to drop your shoulders out of your ears. Inhale. Make sure you are inhaling. You're not just exhaling completely to get all of the exhale out. You are inhaling and exhaling in this. I know that can be a challenge. Take an inhale. Release. We've got one more round. When you're ready, take an inhale. I think I went 12 on that. Sorry, guys. Lift your head. Crown of the head reaches up towards your ceiling, towards the ceiling, or maybe it's your ceiling. Notice how you feel. This is very stimulating. Bring your left arm out to the left, right hand to your heart. Inhale, draw your left arm back. Exhale, draw your right arm back. Inhale left, exhale right. Your rotation starts from your waist. Draw your rib cage back. Feel extension across your chest, down your arms, into your fingers. Now inhale to the right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Try to keep your spine nice and long. If you have a rounded back, if you're slouching, you're not going to get a good twist. I'm just going to cut to the chase on that one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Keep the spine nice and long. Slow down. Come back to center. And if you feel like you need a Shavasana, then go ahead. You can sit here for several minutes after I finish, or you can lay down, or if you feel good. So notice what your body needs right now. If you've got energy and you want to get up, then do it. I personally have a little bit of, that was very heady for me. That was a lot of oxygen that I needed. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit before I close. If you're still with me, sit a little bit taller. Lift the sides of your mouth. Enjoy whatever you're feeling, or recognize that maybe something created a different sensation in you than you didn't expect. There's a possibility of discomfort. Breath exercises, depending on the time of day and, how it went for you. I mean, yoga isn't always perfect. Yoga is never perfect, let me put it that way. But you may have a response that you didn't expect. And maybe next time you change it up a little bit. May all beings in the universe be happy and free. And may our actions and our thoughts contribute to their happiness and their freedom. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.